I was sitting here thinking about something today that I briefly want to share with you. I was thinking about how often we hold on to people, things, and situations far past their expiration dates. God has shown you that a person's season in your life is over and it has ended, but yet you're still holding on to that person, even though they no longer serve a purpose in your life, even though that friendship or that relationship is draining you emotionally, mentally, spiritually, and physically, and that person has become more so like a parasite or a leech. You're still holding on to that person. It could be because of years of loyalty or friendship, or because you thought that person was going to be a lifetime person, but God is clearly showing you that it's time to cut it off, but you're still holding on. Or maybe it could be a job situation where you've outgrown that job, and it's very clear that you've outgrown that job. And it's very clear that God wants you to do something else that's more purposeful and fulfilling, whether it's a new job or whether it's starting your own business, but you're scared. You have this fear because this job is all that you've ever known. You do this job well. This job is in your comfort zone, and you can't imagine yourself stepping out of your comfort zone into the unknown, into the unfamiliar, to what God is calling you to do. Or perhaps it's any other situation where it's clear and apparent that that situation is dead. That situation is draining you, and you're still holding on to it, and you don't know how to cut it off or release it. I just want to encourage you today that it's time to let go. It's time to cut it off. It's time to turn it over to God for good. I want to just share a couple of things with you, because when we do these things, when we hold on to people and things and situations far past their expiration dates, we're doing two things. First of all, we're telling God, I don't trust you enough. I don't trust you enough to bring a better relationship or to bring new friends into my life to replace that person or those persons whom are leaving. I don't trust you enough to bring a better job. I don't trust you enough to bless my business that you're calling me to start. I don't trust you enough to bring a better situation into my life. That's what we're saying to God. One of the things that we have to do is trust in Him and lean not into our own understanding. No, it may not make sense. No, we may not can figure it out right now. We don't know what the next steps are, but we have to have faith and trust and know that God knows what's best for us. He can see down the road when we can't even see around the corner. You know, God knows our end from our beginning. He was the one who created us. He knows everything about us. He knows what we need. And so we can trust God that He's going to bring something better to us. And then another thing I want to mention is that when God closes a door, or when He allows a door to close, He's never going to downgrade us, or He's never going to keep us on that same level where we were before. He's going to open a door that's going to upgrade us, because He's a God that does exceedingly abundantly above anything that we could ask, think, or imagine. So it's going to be far greater and far better than we could ever have imagined. Secondly, I want to say that when we are doing this, when we're holding on to these dead situations and these people and these things far past their expiration dates, we are disobeying God. If God has clearly showed you something or told you to let go of something and you're still holding on, you're still stuck in the present or even stuck in the past, you are being disobedient to God. And delayed disobedience is still disobedience. And Deuteronomy 28 tells us that there are consequences for our disobedience, but there are blessings for our obedience. So we have to be obedient to God. So I just want to encourage you today. So if this is you, if this message is for you, it's tugging at your heart, it's speaking to you, first go to God in prayer and repent and ask for forgiveness for your disobedience. And then ask God to show you the direction that you need to go in, show you how to cut off that job, show you how to cut off that friendship or the relationship. And He will do that. He will lay out His plans for you that will lead you to His perfect will in that area or those areas of your life. So I just want to encourage you today to let go and let God.